Lives Matters turns 10, and KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to be the exclusive media partner of the People's Justice Festival. This Saturday, July 15th, 12 to 6 p.m. in Leimert Park. Come join us as we celebrate the life-saving and history-making work of Black Lives Matter to help bend the arc of the moral universe toward justice. There will be live music performances, a children's village, giveaways, vendors, a healing justice space, Skillshare, and amazing speakers including Green Party presidential candidate Dr. Cornel West live on stage at 4:30 p.m. For more information, go to blmgrassroots.org. That's www.blmgrassroots.org. Dominique DePrima and Tavis Smiley will be main stage hosts throughout the day, and the KBLA Talk 1580 delegation will be out in full force. So, join us this Saturday, July 15th, 12 to 6 p.m. in Leimert Park as we celebrate the 10th anniversary of Black Lives Matter. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. Can pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head, rooted, rooted.
Got a little bit of that doomy baby going into the second hour, keeping us lit, keeping us ready. VIPs, before we get into these trending topics, I wanted to let you know that on the way out of that last break, we were listening to William's music. So I want you, once again, William, to tell us where we can check that out. Let us know.
YouTube, William L. Johnson, and on Instagram, Only One Brother Bill. Only the number one, BROTHABILL.
So I wanted to make sure you guys caught those vibes. I wanted to thank my guests, Van Elder and William L. Johnson, for checking in with us. You guys make sure to hit up any place you can get your videos, video on demand movies, and watch Kings of LA, and hit them up and hit me up and let me know what you thought. Let them know that you heard about it here on KBLA. We appreciate you guys taking the time out to meet with us tonight. Now, we're going to get into these trending topics for you guys because I know that you have been waiting. I see it. I know that, we talked a little bit about Marcus and Larsa. We wrapped that up. I just want to say one thing, that I still think that Marcus is trolling, but I also think that Michael has a fail-safe for that, because if Marcus is serious about pushing this agenda, I bet Marcus will find himself maybe in some rearranged will situations or something like that. You know, Jordan is petty. He's not going to let this ride. That's just the way we are. So next up in the topics that we're going to go over in this second hour, I said we're going to talk about Keke Palmer's revenge. If you have been paying attention, Keke went and saw Usher last week. There was such an uproar about whether or not she was being disrespectful to her son's father. Her son's father had some commentary on social media, and then boom, next thing you know, both of them are removed from each other's social media profile spread. Right? But it begs the question, Keke's response was to drop some merch. I'm a mother. She also said, I'm Stevie to the BS, so she's not tripping. And she did a little 1-2 step on the video, right? To let you know that she's on to other things. Keke also had an interview that let me slow down. Trying to get you this tea, it's hot. That was in the Cut magazine, and she talked about that she after having her child, she felt like she was much more powerful, that she went through moments of feeling, insecure, low self-esteem, but now she's stepping into her power, that she is a mother. She is feeling more of her womanness, her femininity, as her body has developed. She said she's enjoying strutting her stuff. And she said, I'll be honest, I think even before I had the baby, I was really actually quite self-conscious in a way that you would expect, considering the kind of work that I do as a public figure, always trying to be on point with my body, always trying to make sure I'm taking care of this and that. There's a lot of physical attention. Being slim and being fit in a particular way was always something that I gunned for. She said, after having the baby, my body got got so much bigger and I started getting fluff in areas that I never had before. I was trying to work with my trainer. His name is Corey Collette. And he was like, well, we are never going to get your body back to how it was before you had the baby. So you just need to embrace it. And it's not something to hide. And that's something that she wanted to lean into her new body. And she said this whole aura of what's happening with me in this big boss era, big boss Keke, she said as she moves into her 30s and has her son, it's just wanting to inspire and encourage herself as well as anyone else who is going down that road with her, because we're forever growing and changing, and it's all about loving who I am and loving what I experience and have gone through to get me here. Having said that, we know that there's varied opinions on if Keke was disrespectful, if she crossed the line, if she was baiting him. It obviously looks like they were having some problems before this, because I can't imagine one little performance situation is enough to blow up your whole relationship. But it started a clout chase. And over the weekend, we saw clips of Sweetie there at the Park MGM checking out Usher. And we saw Winnie Harlow, who is a model and girlfriend of Washington Wizards star Kyle Kuzma. They had different reactions, so to speak, than Keke's. With Sweetie, I'm going to be honest, I think Sweetie just didn't know the words. People said, oh, she's trying to play it cool. She was popping her gum hella hard, giving you that whole West Coast baddie, I'm a little hood, I'm a little bougetto thing going on. I think she didn't know the words. And I think it was pretty obvious she didn't know the words, but that's okay. She was vibing. Winnie, she was there with Kyle Kuzma. And if you know, Kyle just signed a $100 million extension with the Washington Wizards. Former Laker, he's in his fashion bag now. And Winnie was like, y'all not gonna get me caught up. My man just got $100 million. I'm gonna hop in his lap and not let Usher sing to me. I think that we are all forgetting that ultimately, this is entertainment. This is a show. It's meant to bring a fantasy to life. It is not real life. Usher leaves that show and goes home to his girlfriend, fiance, whatever status they are in, and their 2 children, and everyone else is going home to their significant others. Now, sure, when you're talking about 2 famous individuals, there's always the likelihood that they could link up and do whatever. But the reality is, this is about creating a fantasy. This is about creating a performance. And if you get the opportunity for 2-3 minutes to hop in the act, why not? It's not indicative of what your relationship stands for. I mean, everyone has boundaries and they can set them up. But I think that this is all being overblown. It's a song. He does this to hundreds of women as this residency has gone through. I will tell you what, though. Usher is the hottest ticket in Vegas right now. Those prices are going up. He's about to go on hiatus. So if you haven't got it in to check out Usher in Vegas, make sure that you do so and get on that immediately. When we come forward, we will have more with the trending topics. We're going to talk about Hill Harper. We're going to get into a couple of more stories that have been buzzing around. We're going to talk about Deion re-signing with Nike. We're going to also get into Jamie Foxx. What's that, Jamie Foxx? All that and more when we come forward. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like BizCamp, Construction Career Academy, Bob Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial mission to rebuild Black Wall Street right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talents, and donations, visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-381-8528 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-381-8528. That's 800-381-8528. What do you have to lose? Call 800-381-8528. Again, 800-381-8528.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically black university. Congratulations, South LA, and congratulations to the dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Protho-Stith. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrewu.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid. And we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, it's Jill Munroe. You are checking out RSVP with me. And you are listening live on KBLA Talk 1580. I haven't said tonight, but are you following us on our socials? Make sure you are doing that. You know, we love to hear from you. We love to have you check in. You can follow us everywhere at KBLA 1580. That's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, where you can hop in the live chat. We've been chatting there all night. Also, if you have any comments on any of the stories that you heard, make sure to hit us up, 800-920-1580. And also, because I keep you in the know, because it is my job to make sure that you are aware, I want to share with you an event that is coming up here in LA this weekend in Leimert Park. Black Lives Matter is turning 10, and they are celebrating with the People's Justice Festival taking place July 15, 2023, that's Saturday, from 12 to 6 p.m. in Leimert Park. There's going to be performances, there's a children's village, giveaways, speakers, Skillshare vendors, and a healing justice space. It's something that you don't want to miss, so make sure you tap in. You can get more information by going to blmgrassroots.org. That's blmgrassroots.org. Now, back to RSVP. So, before we came forward, we were talking a little bit about Keke and everything that has been going on, the results of I guess the backlash following her 1-2 with Usher at his show at the park. And we also talked a bit about, the other reactions that we've seen from Sweetie and Winnie Harlow model. There also, someone pulled up a video of Taraji Henson a few months ago, and Taraji was getting her whole life. Miss Girl was partying and dancing, and I think that that's what it's about. It should be just living in the moment and enjoying it. It is a performance. I'm going to keep saying it. It is a performance, Keke also mentioned in this interview in The Cut that when she was younger, part of the reason she thinks maybe she might be a little self-conscious is that she stopped going to regular school. And she said her mom used to sort of scare her about meeting people and forming friends and friends in the industry. Everything was really competitive. So making friends in her field or in everyday life gave her anxiety. And it built up a lot of trust issues within Keke, especially around industry people. So she said, needless to say, she was a little lonely, looking for some normalcy. And she said that she still is in so many ways, that she is kind of an everyday loner. She said when she was working on sets and living her dream, she also really wanted friends, but friends that were not in Hollywood. She wanted to maintain her anonymity. She said her best friend is Taylor Parks. Taylor Parks, I believe that she's a songwriter, singer, and she also just starred in a movie called Spinning Gold as Donna Summer. Anyway, she said Taylor told her about MySpace, and literally the majority of the people that Keke became friends with growing up, they were friends that she met on the internet, friends that she met through MySpace and so forth. She had aliases and all of that. So I think that we have to also give grace because, you know, stepping into motherhood, being a Hollywood actress, still being a relatively young lady, it's a lot on Keke's plate. And because she exudes so much confidence, sometimes we forget that she's still human and she's still growing as a person, learning to be a mother and going through all of these emotions. So, you know, just chill a little bit, relax. We're going to continue to see all of this stuff play out, but it does bring up another interesting conversation about boundaries, which we'll get into a little bit later with the actor Jonah Hill and his ex-girlfriend and some stuff that came out about him. But I wanted to put you guys up on a little bit of game because we've been talking so much about Usher and the reaction. Usher is the king. You know, you've gone back and looked at, what was it, a Boondocks episode, I think? Maybe an episode of The Simpsons. I don't know. Usher's been everywhere, right? But I want to put you up on a little game, man. I want to share something with you. Usher recently did Get Ready With Me with Vogue. And so he walked everyone through his skincare routine. Now, Usher is 44, still looks 30, and obviously has some of the guys out there shook the way that they're reacting to him serenading their, you know, girlfriends, wives, significant others, partners while they're checking out his show. So I thought that I would do a thing for the men, because I know we always talk about women and beauty products, and let you guys know, so you could write this down secretly if you don't want to be out in the open, what Usher's skincare routine was, and put you up on game so that you could take care of your skin, so maybe you'll have the women falling out or falling in line or just reigniting that flame with your, you know, special one too. So first thing Usher says, one of his keys to prepping, to getting his face ready, to getting his skincare regimen ready, is the simple hot rag. He said people forget that hot washcloth is exfoliating. It gets the skin ready for whatever you got going on. So he starts his skincare regimen with wiping down his face with a hot rag. He also says it helps you to get ready for the summer heat. And Usher says, don't be afraid to apply serum. Yes, Usher uses serum because how else can you preserve the sexy, you know, without a little bit of that with a brush? He said he likes the feeling of it. He likes it a little better than his fingertips. So some of the products that he uses, he starts with a product called Jowl Refresher. And what it really is kind of like a hand sanitizer or a cleaner to make sure that his hands are prepped and ready for usage on his face, you know, not to transfer any bacteria or anything like that. He says that the cleanser he used is Acne Expert Skincare Soothing, right? So it keeps his skin clean, clear. It's gentle, so it doesn't strip it too much. Next up, he uses a facial spray that has aloe, herbs, and rose water. It's Mario Badescu. I might be mispronouncing that, but you could go to Vogue and the products are listed there. I'm just putting you up on game. Usher said this is major key. Major key, are hydrogel eye patches. I know you've seen people walking around with them. They look like little half moons. You put them under your eyes. They help with puff. They help with dark circles. His preference is the Peter Thomas Roth 24K pure 24K gold pure luxury lift and firm hydrogel patches. You can get those anywhere. They do an amazing job. Check those out. You just put them on for about 15-20 minutes, let them rest there, rub the serum in, and go. He talks about, Usher mentions that when he was younger, in his late teens, he had a really bad acne problem, like really, really bad. He said that it caused him a little bit of anxiety. It was a thing. So he's very serious about his skin now. He said that he also uses Acne Expert Skincare Daily C antioxidant serum. So he's getting that vitamin C in on his face. He also has an Acne Expert Skincare Calming Moisture Gel, a Beauty Elixir Prep Set that has a glow face mist. Yeah, he's using all of this. A La Mer lip balm, because you got to keep the lips hydrated. We don't want any cracked lips. We want them moisturized. Andy, you are funny. I see you. I see you in there. And he uses Jack Black Intense Therapy lip balm with an SPF of 25. So there you go. That is what Usher does to keep that youth going in his face. Things like I said, you can catch him actually walking through the steps of this skincare routine at Vogue.com, and it lists all the products there. They're all reasonably priced. They're not super expensive, so it's not like he's saying go out and drop the bag like most women do with this. He's just telling you how to keep it tight and keep it preserved. And I am willing to bet somewhere down the line, we will see an Usher skincare line reveal itself. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyway, moving on. I mentioned Jonah Hill a little bit. Jonah is our favorite from Superbad. He also just recently was in a film with Lauren London called You People that was about, he played a Jewish guy. Lauren obviously is a black woman, biracial. And they were linking up and their families were kind of against it and they kind of were, going through that process. I don't know if you know, but Jonah has anxiety. And so he made the decision, really, I think it was a couple of years ago, that he was no longer going to do press. I know that part of that had to do with when he lost a lot of weight. People don't realize these things. People would ask him all the time, about his weight loss and things like that. It gave him anxiety. So he just wasn't feeling it. So he's not doing any press. That's neither here nor there. But over the weekend, his ex-girlfriend, who was a surf instructor named Sarah Brady, released some text messages that Jonah had sent to her from the time when they were together. Now, let's set the scene. Jonah and Sarah met through a DM on Instagram. She's a surf instructor. And he hit her up. He liked the content that she was putting out. He thought it was cool that she surfed, and he hit her up. As the relationship progressed, I guess Jonah felt that there were some boundaries or some areas of concern that he no longer wanted her to engage in as the relationship got more serious. So some people are questioning whether or not he was being controlling, if it was boundaries, if it was just his preference, or if he was gaslighting her. Because some of the things that he asked her not to do, he said that she posted too many bikini photos. Remember, she's a surf instructor. That's what she does. He felt that it was too revealing for it to be on her social media, even though that's how he made the acquaintance. He also didn't want her posting pics with males, even if she was instructing them, just because it made him feel away. He also wanted her to adjust her friend group. If she had friends that he felt were unstable, that might have been a little flighty, or maybe down to be really social, he didn't want her around them either. So it kind of sparked a debate because she released these screenshots of their text exchanges. And in one exchange, like, for example, he asked her to take down any surfing photos, and he termed it A $sign in a thong. And so what she wrote is, this is a warning to all girls. If your partner is talking to you like this, make an exit plan. Once she deleted the post, Hill reportedly wrote that it was a good start, but that she didn't seem to get his point. He said, it's not my place to teach you. I've made my boundaries clear. The message from Hill also said, you refuse to let go of some of these things and them. You've made that clear. I hope it makes you happy. So the thing about this for me is, was it the nicest thing for Jonah to do? Probably not. Nobody necessarily wants to be controlled, especially when he met her in that way. However, this is what happens in relationships. These are an exchange. You discuss things, you go back and forth, you try and figure out, is this my person? Do we match? Do we fit together? Now, I may not agree with what the rules that Jonah was laying down, but I certainly feel like he has the autonomy to do so within the course of a relationship. He and Sandy, I believe, Sandy. No, I'm just playing. He and Sarah broke up well over a year ago. And Jonah is actually in a whole new relationship. Not just a whole new relationship. He and his new significant other actually had a baby recently. And so it kind of makes you feel like, what is Sarah's real reason for releasing this so long after the situation had ended? She claims, because, obviously people address that like, are you just being a hater? He just had his baby. Are you in his feelings? Why is this relevant now? Because realistically, you could do what you did and leave the relationship. I understand maybe wanting to encourage or give words out to other women, but just doing this seems kind of messy. And she said that she actually thought of Jonah's child's mother by waiting, and that she didn't want to stress her out or put that on her while she was pregnant. But she felt that it was important that the message get out there. I don't know about that. I mean, again, you are entitled to say and share anything realistically, but sometimes, is it necessary, and who is it really helping? I don't know. Sounds kind of questionable. When we come forward, we'll get into more trending topics and headlines. We have news and sports coming up next. You are listening to KBLA Talk 1580, RSVP with Jill Munroe.
Backstage, underrated adolescent, how you doing? Fine, she replied, high side, I like to do the wild thing. Action took place, hey, kinda wet, come on, don't forget the J, the M, the M, the Y, yo, I need a body bag. You can do me when you wanna do me.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Over 42 million Americans are under heat warnings this week. Extreme heat is already hitting the Southwest in states including California and Arizona, and the dangerous conditions are only expected to get worse. In Texas, a new state law passed this year bars homeowners associations from excluding renters who receive federal assistance paying their rent. The Providence Homeowners Association last year barred landlords from renting to Section 8 tenants. Most of the neighborhood's Section 8 renters were black, so critics saw the rule as racial discrimination. Wall Street is closing higher as investors brace for the start of second quarter earnings season. At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 209 points at 33,944. The S&P 500 added 10 points to 4409, and the Nasdaq rose 24 points to 13,685. That's the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Shop the July 4th savings event at Scandinavian Designs Furniture. Save on hundreds of new clearance markdowns for every room, and for a limited time, save an additional 10% on as-is furniture in store. Plus, save when you shop the outdoor sale. Shop at one of 5 Los Angeles locations or shop online at ScandinavianDesigns.com.
We boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions. new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Remix, Jonelle, Def Jam, Method Man.
Yeah. All the game that you was spittin', you know that you was trippin'. Never thought you'd see me dippin', but I had to get missing. I'm tired of you stressing me. Why don't you let it be? Coming around testing me. Want me mentally? Goodbye. Don't wanna see your face no more. So long. Pack your bags, want you out the door. Cause every time that I play this rock game, time and time again, it's gonna rain.
I hope you're listening to the words. I like that's the theme of the weekend. You know, women taking their power back to a degree. You know, battle of the sexes. Really quickly, really quickly, just one hot second back on that Usher topic and the performance. And I saw this on Twitter. You know, like, I don't know what this generation would have done, like, at a Bobby Brown concert back in the day when he did Roni. He got arrested for this a couple of times, but he was bringing women up on the stage and laying them out on the bed. There's another artist that used to do something similar as well, the artist that can't be named. We won't speak of him. And if you want to take it back to like the 70s, Teddy Pendergrass was basically telling him, just like Usher, don't leave your girl around me, true player for real, you know, kissing the ladies all in their mouth and stuff like that. So I feel like we're getting a little beside ourselves with this discourse because it's all in good fun. And I know men were like, oh, how would your woman feel if Beyonce or Rihanna was there, you know, giving them this rhythm? I think most women would be like, you better get up there and act like you're a man and show her some love. That's the queen. That's Ree. Do it up. Don't embarrass me. I think Andy is going to disagree with my point. Andy, what you got to say?
I hear your point.
Yes.
But I guess it's the whole fantasy aspect. Because if it was just a regular girl, right, giving me a lap dance, so to speak, I think my lady would have an issue with that.
Right.
As opposed to, but if it was Beyonce, though, it's a pass. So what you're saying is that because it's Usher, it's a pass.
Kind of, because it's a show. It's theater. It's not, here's the thing, right? And I get it, we're talking about celebrities for the most part, so they could go backstage and hang out with Usher. But for the most part, most of these people aren't going to see Usher again. Do you know what I mean? The lady that he might be singing to because it's your birthday and your girls hooked you up with an extra special part, the security's not going to come around and like, hey, Usher wants your number. It's not happening. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I'm saying more than likely Usher is not at that phase where he's still picking up fans and whatever else. I just think that it's an overblown discourse. Okay, Andy, come on.
Are we sure about that with Usher?
We're not sure. We're not sure. And, you know, there are other reasons why people could, you know, think that this is really a non-issue if you want to get deep into some of the rumors that we have heard about Usher. I'm not. They're allegedly. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't feel like love Usher as a performer. Love him down. He's been rocking for almost 30 years, right? It's amazing that he is still relevant. He goes out there and gives you a show, a consummate professional. You are not getting that performance from other people. But I think everybody kind of needs to cool it with that. And that's it on that. Anyway, let's talk about Hill Harper. And you know, actor Hill Harper, he's an actor, author, activist, and he has decided that he is going to jump into the U.S. Senate race in Michigan. There's several candidates that are expected to jump in, but Hill launched his long-awaited campaign on Tuesday, and Tuesday of last week with a soft launch. He has put out some video, I think today or over the weekend. We're going to play a little bit of that in a second, but Hill Harper is a first-time Democrat and a first-time candidate. He's expected to hold several launch events in locations in and around Detroit and Grand Rapids. So if you're wondering, no, Hill is not from the Detroit, Michigan area, but he lives there. He's known for his roles, in case you're wondering, in case you like, I know the name, but I can't quite picture where I know him from. The Good Doctor on ABC that was on a few years ago. CSI New York that used to be on. He used to be really good friends with Gabrielle Union, and he's written a book, Letters to My Younger Self, I believe is the name of it, or Letters to a Younger Brother. I'm probably jacking up the name right now, but the point is that I think he's a good candidate, and I think that he has the right idea as far as why he wants to run. He owns a bookstore, a coffee shop called the Roasting Plant in downtown Detroit. So he's invested in the community. The thing about the Roasting Plant is that it's also a job training program for Detroit youth. So he's not just there trying to turn a profit. He is also investing in the city, investing in the inhabitants. He is running against a sort of progressive candidate, Slotkin, and Slotkin is actually maybe kind of centrist as far as their record, and they see Harper as a candidate that has deep ties to the Black community, a real interest in seeing things advance, and he sort of covered in this video exactly what inspired him to run. So we're going to play that for you now.
Dear Pierce, I'm recording this video for you because I'm about to make a big announcement. And it's going to be tough for us. You know, I'm not going to be able to tuck you in every night or do our nighttime prayers together. But these are sacrifices so many hardworking families have to make every single day. Fighting for what you believe in is hard enough, but it's worth doing when you found something that makes your heart beat faster. And for me, that's you. Yeah, I've started a nonprofit, owned a small business in Detroit, even beat cancer. Served on President Obama's cancer panel, earned Ivy League degrees, and written best-selling books. But for me, adopting you is the greatest thing I've done in my life. You see, the world you're growing up in doesn't feel like it's getting any better. It's more divisive and more dangerous. When you told me that you were afraid to go to school because of shootings, it's not freedom. Our economy works for the richest, while the most vulnerable have to work even harder than ever to keep up. That's not freedom.
So that's a little bit of Hill's video where he is explaining to his adopted son why he is making the leap into politics and the sacrifices that they are going to have to make on the home front. So what I want to know from you is, what are your thoughts on actors jumping into the political arena? I mean, we have had the president of the United States as a former actor. That's Ronald Reagan. He also was governor of California. You know, we had Arnold Schwarzenegger as our governor here in California as well. We've seen states with wrestlers as representatives. Jesse the Body Ventura represented, was it Wisconsin or Minnesota? Minnesota. Okay, thank you, Andy. Can't remember. I couldn't remember back in the day, but so it's not unheard of. It's not that it is a course that hasn't been taken before, but we are also coming off of a couple of years ago, not necessarily an actor, but, you know, reality TV star. No need to get into details. We know what DT was, reality show star, et cetera, et cetera. What are your feelings about people that have been in the public eye as far as entertainment taking the leap into politics? Do you think it's a good idea, bad idea? Do you think that they are tapped in to what the general public is looking for, or because of their celebrity, are they in a bubble and not really and truly able to relate? Andy, what do you think?
I think this message right here is for the youth. Anybody listening here that's young, you know what I'm saying, 18, 19, 20, do some research. The reason why I say that is because I remember back, was it 2003, when Arnold Schwarzenegger ran for governor? I voted for him.
Did you really?
I voted for him because he was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The Terminator.
The Terminator. You know what I'm saying? I was caught up by, you know, his celebrity, as opposed to like really doing some research, looking at his policies and whatnot. So I say that to answer your question, do some research. Don't just vote simply because they were a public figure. They were this movie star, celebrity, this, that, and the third. Do your research, know what policies that they got popping, and act accordingly.
I agree 100%. I think that is one of the dangers now, especially with social media, is that we can get caught up in the hype so easily, especially the younger generation, because they kind of don't have to really go hard to research. I mean, now the question remains, is even as easy as it is to touch it, will they even do that? But the reality is that you know, we see things brought to us on social media, brought to people on TikTok. We know that a lot of people use TikTok as their search engine, as their resource for all types of advice. There's no fact checking to that. So, you know, that impacts things like elections, your health, what you listen to, what you believe. So Andy gave some solid quality advice. Make sure that you are doing some research, not just what your friends say or what you see on a video. Take that one extra step. It may seem like it's too much, but in the long run, it will help you. We got some comments in the chat, in the YouTube chat. Tony Yayo says, Hill Harper and Michael Ealy, are they the same dude? People have mistaken that quite a bit. No, they are not. If you're confused, Michael's eyes are green. Hill has, you know, brownish hazel eyes. Hill is probably the more serious of the two, a little more conservative, if you're looking at that. And actually, I haven't seen Hill take on as many acting roles in the past few years. He's really been in his author bag, in his community activist bag, and sort of taking that branch on. Tony Yayo also said Kwame Kilpatrick should have ran for office again in Detroit. Is he allowed to do so? I'm not sure. I'm not sure after the arrest and whatever happened with that, if he is eligible to take public office again. I know there's, you know, different rules and regulations and things that can be sidestepped and whatever, but I'm not sure about his status. But right now, Hill is on that campaign trail. So if you are a Michigan resident and he is campaigning within your district, make sure that you check him out, look at who he's running against, if his values align with yours, and, you know, check that out. Now, we have more trending topics to discuss, but we will do that when we come forward. You are listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
The family of Keenan Anderson is suing the city of Los Angeles for $100 million. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Keenan Anderson, a high school English teacher that was visiting Los Angeles from Washington, D.C., was tragically killed at the hands of the Los Angeles Police Department in January of this year. His family, alongside civil rights and personal injury attorney Benjamin Crump and Carl Douglas, have announced a $100 million lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles. Crump and Douglas are representing Keenan Anderson's son, Sincere Anderson, and his mother, Gabrielle Hansel. The family is suing for civil rights violations, assault and battery, false imprisonment, and negligence on the part of the LAPD officers. The family of Keenan Anderson and attorneys Crump and Douglas want it to be known that this is only part of a systemic issue within the fabric of police departments everywhere.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Want my secret for how to prep for summer getaways and get-togethers and get everything for less? Kohl's. I just went shopping and saved big on sunny day essentials like tees, tank tops, shorts, capris, swimwear, and beach towels. Because for every one I bought, I was able to get a second for only $1. Plus, I earned Kohl's Cash. So head to Kohl's and find the top styles for the lowest prices. You'll thank me later. Select styles. Offers in July 13th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the Baconator with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and frosty duo. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and pull through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
Hey, it's Jill Munroe. Thank you for checking in, VIPs. We are here talking trending topics, hot headlines, and all of that because, you know, so much has gone on in the world of entertainment, sports, lifestyle, and culture over the last couple of days, and we are here to give it to you first. So, first up, a legend, a classic, because, you know, we like to refer to those, the current University of Colorado football coach, Deion Sanders, has reconnected with the swoosh. I don't know if you remember, if you were a fan of Deion's back in the day when he was playing, but Deion had a Nike Diamond Turf Max shoe, 96, when it dropped, black and gold. No. That's the current colorway that launched off. I'm not sure what the original colorway was because now I've confused myself and I actually don't remember. But I know that, you know, there were a couple of shoes that you needed to have as far as cross trainers and shoes. You had to have your Bows because Bo was the original two-sport athlete. Behind him was Deion. Hasn't been done since those two did it. Obviously, Bo, if you've watched any of the specials about him, did a lot of damage to his body. Deion has gone through his own health struggles. However, what they represented at the time, late 80s, early 90s, was nothing short of pure excellence. And so after vowing to never link back up with Nike, Deion and Nike had a falling out, I think in early 2000, so to speak, where the relationship soured. Deion and the swoosh have come back together. We know Deion played in the MLB from 89 to 2001, and he obviously was in the NFL from 89 to 2005, becoming the only player to make it to a World Series and a Super Bowl during his tenure as both a professional baseball player and an NFL athlete. So he had his own sneaker, like I said, the signature line, the Nike Air Diamond Turf training shoes. They were one of the first to debut. They actually debuted in 93. There was a sequel in 94, and then the Diamond Turf Max, like I said, in 96. And then there was an Air Diamond Turf in 97. And I guess the last shoe that he put out with them was in 98. So that was an error, you know. He tried to run it back and put together a little situation with Under Armour in 2009 that soured. And, you know, really, who is wearing Under Armour sneakers? No shade, no tea. I don't see a lot of y'all running around in Steph Curry's, but it's just an observation. You're free to wear whatever you want to. But will nostalgia hit you? Were you feeling Deion's shoe back at the day? Are you going to, you know, touch base with it now? I'm sure we're going to see the whole University of Colorado team rocking it this fall. Deion posted a picture to his Instagram a couple of days ago and said, "We coming, you know, ready." So let me know if you feel like this is a good thing. It doesn't matter. We're tired of Deion. I want to hear your thoughts. Hit me up. You can reach me everywhere at Stiletto Jill. That's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I would say Snapchat. I have a Snapchat, but I never check it, so don't hit me up there. Would you say, Andy? Threads. Oh, Threads, indeed. We're going to talk about Threads in a little bit. You know, all of that. So, and make sure you're following us here at KBLA. 1580 KBLA. Hit up all those socials. Download the app so you can take us with you. You know, sometimes you might not have access to the radio. You may not be able to check out YouTube, but you can listen to all your favorite shows right there on the app. Shout out to Tony Yayo. He says he wears Asics and Saucony, best running shoes ever. Those are some very good running shoes. But see, here's the thing. This is a cross-training shoe, so that means you could run in these. You could work out and lift weight in these. You could conceivably, you know, hey, I don't know, whatever you do, maybe hit your yoga, get your downward dog on. They are and they're stylish, come on. You gotta at least take a look, But to be fair, Saucony has been coming out with some nice styles as of late. And if you just want a stylish shoe, it's a running shoe, but just with a good colorway, check out some of those New Balance. No shade, no tea. Andy, what you got to say?
You mean them Sauconys?
Sauconys? What did I say? Saucony?
No, that's the real
Saucony is the real right pronunciation, right? Sauconys is.
I just remember growing up, we used to always call them Sauconys,
Okay,
but,
they did. I always get thrown with. I'm like, no, it's Saucony, right?
No,
okay. Did you have a pair? Did you rock them?
I did have a pair. Actually, a couple pair of Sauconys.
What was the colorway you liked?
The ones that I had, they were like a combination of like blue, black, and like silver or whatnot. And then I think I had all black and white. So those were cool.
I mean, for a running shoe, they were, the colorways, it wasn't daring, but they were nice and they were very comfortable, right? As far as running shoes go, those are, pretty good. I forget, I used to know what all the top running shoes are, but I don't really run anymore because
people will still rock it, for the swag. So,
I'm saying, so go, swag yourself out. I'm sure they're going to have some Colorado colors. Everybody loves a little black and gold colorway. So make sure you check that out. So we have so very much to talk about. I know you're tired of me saying so. I am too, but I'm excited because, listen, this next topic has everybody buzzing. So we're going to get into it a little bit before we come forward. And then when we're on the other side, we're going to get deep off into it. I don't know if you know, but Jamie Foxx was spotted out in public over the weekend. It was a sigh of relief for a lot of fans because Jamie was hospitalized April 11th, April 12th, and hasn't been seen in public since. There have been various speculations, rumors, interjections on what the health situation that he is actually going through is and what the status is as far as his health. But we're going to get into where he was spotted, how many times he was spotted, and what some people are saying about the sighting. All of that and more when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580. News and traffic up next.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Over 42 million Americans are under heat warnings this week. Extreme heat is already hitting the Southwestern states, including California.